It was lockdown time again, and trips away had to be put on hold, but that wasn't going to stop me getting the rods out. Restrictions allowed us to get out for the day, and there were enough waters local to me that would allow me to do just that. Before this latest lockdown even arrived, I was getting out for the odd days winter fishing here and there, mainly on my local waters of course. Favourite bait for winter fishing? Of course it's the citrus, always has been for a few years now. But instead of the pop-ups which I've been using for most of my fishing, I tried as little pink wafter. I've been using wafters abroad a lot and thought they would do the job on local waters as well, which of course they would. So a little pink wafter, a little bag of goodies and dipped in the citrus syrup. I've always found early winter to be a good time anyway. It can be hit and miss like any other time of year I suppose, but the fish are normally looking good, they're at good weights, and yeah, I've managed a few decent ones early part of the winter. I always find when the first few really heavy frosts arrive and the temperatures start to drop, that's when it gets tough. But that's when you've got to fish harder and more effectively than ever. It also is a time when you need to be patient as well. Getting the right bait in the right area is what it's all about, and then just waiting for the right time. There's an old saying that beggars can't be choosers, and yeah, with winter fishing I guess that's true. You know, can't always target the biggest fish, and sometimes you just have to be grateful for a bite. This has certainly been one of the smallest winter carp I've ever caught, but to me a carp is always a carp, and it was very welcome on a cold winter's day. Yeah, the big freeze arrived, and like a lot of people I did venture out and try and get one of those prized winter pictures of a carp in the snow, but they weren't playing the game. It was just a little bit too cold I think. But instead, I got the pike rods out and made my way down to Thorny Weir and see if I could get a bit of action that way. The scope's coming out, the little scope sawn off. A few lures. See if we can catch a pike or two anyway. I think there's times when there's a lot of fish up this channel. There's probably times, oh look at that deer over there. Can you see him? Deer. That's one of the things I love about coming out. Cold day like this, loads of wildlife about. Besides the deer, it was also nice to see me two old mates, the black cats that live at Thorny Weir. They always come and say hello. Yeah, freezing cold, but worth getting the lure rod out for an hour. Not a big one, but there we go, pike. Good stuff. Over the next couple of days I had some good fun, caught loads of pike, nothing big, but for a few hours each afternoon it was a good bit of action. But of course always at the back of my mind I just wanted to get back out carp fishing. For a couple of days I went over to the lizard fishery, not fished there before. As you can see they weren't exactly hard to find, but try as I might, couldn't put one on the bank. Tried everything. Perhaps the timing was wrong, perhaps it was the wrong water to target, so you know I still wanted to get the rods out, and I found myself heading back to the water I'd first started fishing that winter, over at Mayfields. been there for a few hours and nothing was really happening, and I saw one little show that I was sure had to be a carp. Anyway, I put a rod on it, and within a few minutes it went off. God, it was so good to feel a fish on the other end again. As that old saying goes, observation is often the key, and it was again this time. By the way, you'll have to excuse the muddy thumbprint on the camera. I grabbed it a bit quick when the rod went off, and yeah, didn't notice the mark until afterwards. Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm well pleased with that. On a tough, cold, chilly February day, just hoping I was going to get one. Freezing cold in my hands, really is cold. February carp. How good is that? Well chuffed. Thank you very much, Mr. Mirror. Off you go. You know, I'm pretty lucky living where I do in the Colne Valley that I've got quite a few lakes really sort of on my doorstep. You know, I've got Thorny Weir, Farlows, Lizard, Mayfields, all within easy reach. So, you know, I've been sort of out and about all the time, really. I try and see the positives in everything, and there is always positives to be seen in any situation. And, you know, I'm always saying that I'd like to do more fishing in the UK. You know, that's something that I always miss out on, even a bit of pike fishing. And if anything, the restrictions we've had put in place have helped me to do those. So, you know, that's the positive for me. I've been able to get out, do a bit of fishing locally, and do some of the stuff that I haven't been doing for a while. You know, it is only day fishing, so again, there's positives to come from that. Don't need so much gear. Travel light, just yeah, come out instead of all the cooking gear, just a flask of coffee for the day, and yeah, it could be easier really. I must admit, I'm really surprised how empty the banks are on some places. I know I've been down to Lizard lately, which is a normal day ticket fishery, and that's been a little bit busier. You know, Thorny Weir for instance, last winter when lockdown, well before lockdown happened, the first one, you know, you had to get there quite early to get a swim. It was quite busy even through the winter. And I've been down there recently, and there's literally been no one on the whole complex. So, and this is the same, you know, I'm on this little one, Mayfields now, and there's literally not been another angler on here. So, yeah, suits me fine. But it shows that, you know, people aren't really prepared to get out for the days. And yeah, that surprises me, because there's always a chance for a fish, and, you know, fishing is fishing. It's we have to sort of fit in with what we can do, and so, you know, if all I can do is get out for the day, I'm going to do that certainly. So yeah, here I am for the day, and again on my own. So, yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Happy days, winter fishing, chance for a bite, and yeah, got the lake to myself. Well, I've literally only just cast this one out. only been here a couple of minutes and yeah, we've got one already, so happy days. Real pleased with that. Off you go, sunshine. Yes, lovely. Well, second one of the day, and well, this is an absolute little stunner. These winter colours. Really, really pleased with that. It's just, that's why it's worth coming out in the winter. It can be hard sometimes. I've had it hard, but times like this make it worthwhile. Absolutely stunning. Very pleased. That's what makes winter carping all worthwhile. Certainly nice to get one of the commons. Lovely dark old thing. Yeah, one afternoon, 3 fish, a couple of cracking mirrors, and now a nice common to finish it off. Bit of a gloomy old day today, but the fish are feeding, that's the main thing. Yeah, I'm always asked about rigs and that, and really, probably the last 12 months, 95% of the UK carp have all been on the same rig. It's just a hinge rig on a helicopter. Come to that bit in a minute, but just £25 skin link boom and a chod link hook section, and yeah, that's just for presentation. It just sits nicely, and yeah, hooks the fish as well, which is what it's all about. There's two things that have really helped this rig in the last sort of year or so. One is the chod claw. The chod claw suits this rig perfectly, so well done to the Nash boys for making the claw in a chod version, because that really does work well with this. And the other thing is a bait screw, because I know bait screws aren't particularly a new invention or anything, but they do make this rig so much easier to use. And I was one of these people who always used to tie me hook baits on, and you know, a bit of dental floss or whatever. It just makes it so much simpler putting that on with a bait screw. A couple of seconds it's on there, so yeah, happy days. The area I'm fishing out there, it's not a place where I can cast out and get a drop. I'm sort of bombing it in under a few branches, so I don't get a chance to sort of feel for a drop. So the helicopter allows that lead to go in, bang in place with the hook lead just behind it, and however the lead lands, the hook bait is going to sit pretty well. That's what I've been using and it's been working fine, so it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Bait is citrus, white citrus, using 12 mils here with a bit of plume juice added in. You know, I'm only doing short sessions and it's all about trying to get a bite as quickly as possible really and get the attraction out there. So the more attraction you can get in around your hook bait, the better. And like the citrus, they're a good winter bait anyway, but the plume juice just adds that extra little bit. Little cloud around the hook bait, attraction seeps out, and well, it definitely draws them in. This time of year, winter fishing, really it's all about getting on the fish, giving them what they want, and putting it where they are. I found these fish here in one tiny little area, and there was one little show one day, and that was literally what gave them away. And you know, it is an old saying that, you know, keep your eyes peeled, because one little show might be all you get, but it might be all you need. And that's definitely how it was here, because there was nothing really happening, nothing showing, and then there was one little show, and I thought, no bird come up, had to be a fish. Put a rod on there, and had quite a few bites off that spot since. And literally that was all it was, that one little show. So you know, it's not always easy to find where they're holding up in the winter, but it is important. So find where they're holding, and then just put something bright and fruity in front of them. Like that, citrus just works perfectly. It's not rocket science, but it does take a little bit of work and a little bit of working out. But yeah, like I say, just get on them, give them something they want, and they're catchable. Well, might be a wet old day, but it's a productive one by the looks of it. February fishing. I'm the only one who's down here today, so you know, I'm well pleased with that. A winter carp. Get that lovely clean winter fish. As soon as I cast this one out, As soon as it landed, I thought that's a bite, definitely. It landed really close to the spot, exactly where I wanted it to be really, and sure enough, 20 minutes probably, and off it went with this one. So happy days. 2 hours fishing, 2 fish. It all goes to show that even with the restrictions and limited time, in the depths of winter, if you're willing to put the effort in, fish are still out there to be caught. We all know that. Hopefully it won't be too long now before the restrictions are lifted and we can get the bivvies out and go night fishing again. The weather will soon be warming up, spring's on its way, the fish will be more active, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things are going to get back to normal. But for now, thanks for watching and see you next time.